Massachusetts now on Groton Street, and this is the Elderville neighborhood, and of course you need to have a Catholic church because this is a very Catholic neighborhood. And across the street is 1952 rendition of the St. Rose de Lima Church. And you can see it's quite nice in spots. It's got a nice high steeple on it. But it's 1952, and the church, the parish, was made in 1897. So there must have been other places where the church was held. Well, it turned out that this church replaced a wooden church, and the wooden church was right on the edge of it, and they had to take it down. But they took it down before they even made the church because it wasn't serving their needs anymore. Now, this church from 1952 has a lot of 50s buildings, but I can also point out where the old buildings were along the way. So I'll follow the model I just did. Now, behind the church is a brick building, and that brick building is the modern rectory. And the modern rectory for the pastor was built, I believe, in 1927. And where did he live before that? Well, we're going to point across the street. He lived in the parking lot of the school, right at the corner of Percy Street. And where did he live before that? He lived in that bright blue house behind the parking lot. Right? And the same was true for the nuns, but I'll point out along the way. Now, you notice the school has two wings to it, and those are important. It's in a very Roman look. The school is the St. Jean d'Arc School, or the School of Joan of Arc, and it has in front of it people that were fought in the war. But the school has two wings, and one of those wings served as the church because they had taken down the wooden church long before 1952, and then when that major church came along, they can move out of the wing. But for about 17 years, I think it was, they had the church and the back wing. I think it was the left wing. Now, also along the left side, there used to be another building, and that served as the convent, and that served as the second convent because the first convent was also down Percy Street, and it is gone now, but it was a double convent and school. Now, last thing I'm going to point out in this introduction is that we're going to look at the convent for the nuns. Now, this convent is right in front of us, a very beautiful brick building, and they built this in 1957, I believe. And when they made it, it could house all the nuns. And now there's no nuns working for the St. Joan of Arc School. And so when the last nun moved out of here in sometime 1990s, they changed it over into a pastoral center. And the pastoral center is a resource center for the parish itself and for the community itself. It helps have social functions of the church, but it also serves as a resource location for the poor people of Chicopee. So this St. Rose de Lima Church has fit into its neighborhood for over 125 years, and it's done a great job, and most people in this area respect the community very much. This church has 6 monsignors, where most churches might have 1. They had 6. That's an incredible amount, and that means that the parish was well respected, and they respected academic educations also. Now, there's one more thing I point out is the St. Rose de Lima Cemetery is down the street over there, Chicopee Street. If you go down there maybe half mile, take a left, you'll meet that old cemetery from 1910. And that itself is a great journey to add to this. So thank you for coming to this introductory stop of the St. Rose de Lima Church.